That's a, mhm. And that right there will start a whole nother relationship between you and him. He has forgot about it even then and moved on. But you are, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And then everything's gonna connect because you're attracting it. So then everything your sister names, your cousin names, every movie you don't ever watch, everything that fits how you're feeling, you gon' it's gonna manifest. You gonna remember stuff you ain't remembered in years. You know what? My mama did tell me one time that my daddy, and I remember when everything is gonna just validate. You gonna get confirmation every everywhere you turn that he now is having an affair with this woman. We create our worlds, ladies. We are our worst enemies sometimes. Good men, good men have to suffer and deal and be at the hands and the mercy of us and our imaginations, our minds. Why? Because we focus on the wrong things. Now, you say, well, nah, men do that. I'm not, remember, this ain't about them. See, if we gonna fix anything, it starts here. We can't fix nothing in the world. We got to first fix ourselves. So we ain't talking about what they do. We talking about what we think and how we do. Because, remember, you done started this in motion. So now, every time he grab his... I'm laughing because it's so real, y'all. Every time he grab his phone, every time he get a text, every time your mind is going. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. I mean, I didn't even heard it, it ain't funny, but it's funny. Don't let, cause see, I'm a firm believer that companies have control. They're not supposed to, but companies, your cell phone company, people, they have access to your stuff. They have programs, they got all kind of stuff out there, right? And let a glitch or let something happen to where, I don't know, say at one point he had you in his favorites. You were the only favorite in his phone. And then say one day by chance you just happen to pick up his cell phone and go through his phone. I don't know what you're looking for, but you're going to find it. You pick up his phone and you go through and you stop at the favorites and you don't see your picture. You see another picture. So now this evidence on top of this evidence on top of this, and then you hit the roof. Now, the person in the phone ain't the same person who was standing on the corner with him, in front of the job with him. This is a total, but it don't matter because you own one. You own this wave and you riding it till the wheels fall off. Not even consciously realizing what you're doing. You are creating the reality that you don't want. And depending on your man, okay, depending on the strength and what's in him, you may get just what you want. Because I've heard him say it. She don't trust me no way. Man, for the last 6 months, this woman been accusing me of cheating. I don't know what she talking about. I ain't got no idea. I ain't thinking about no other woman. I ain't got time, man. When I leave home, and they stating their facts, stating their case, but you don't hear nothing, cause you got your proof. Your proof is in the pudding. So, guess what happens? Your worst nightmare becomes your reality. And she accusing me, so I might as well. Depending on the man. Now, I'm not saying he right, and I'm not saying he wrong. But I am saying it didn't start with him. We have to be careful, ladies. Your mind is powerful. Your thoughts are powerful. The words you speak is powerful. If you want a loyal, committed, giving, compassionate, gentle man, guess what you need to speak over that man's life? Every time you see that man, guess what you need to see? I ain't talking about what you... Girl, that's fantasy world. You ain't living in okay, then keep living in your reality and stop complaining about it. You will get what you expect. You will get what you speak on. What do you want? That's what you got to ask yourself. What do you really want? Women, and I preach this to my single ladies, or my ladies who are just maybe dating and really not in a committed relationship or marriage or engaged, because you still got time to correct these bad old habits and old beliefs to create the world and the relationship that you want. You still got time. It's a little bit more difficult for people who are already in it because you're living the reality, right? But it still can be done for you. But for those of you who have not walked down that aisle, start now. Start today. Get you a journal, get you a pen and paper. Start right now. What you want. Your list of do's. Forget the don'ts. We focus too much on the negative. What do you want? When you go, like I said, when you go someplace, they don't ask you, what don't you want? They ask you, what do you want? So I'm asking you today, what do you want? What do you want out of life? What do you want out of a job? What do you want out of a career? What do you want out of your mom? Out of your dad? You get what you want. So speak it. You can get what you want. You don't get what you want because you don't speak what you want. If that makes sense to you. Stop dwelling on everything that's going wrong in your life and start focusing on the good. Even if you don't see it in the physical yet, faith is believing before you see. Live a faith life. Try it. What you got to lose? You ain't got to... Okay, yeah, other people may think you crazy, so you may not want to speak it out to them per se, especially if they in that old other vibe. You may just want to just test it out. Try it within yourself, right? But take me back to my point. So this brother, like I said, you've been knowing this dude since high school. Y'all in your 40s now. And he do one thing and wipes out literally like a tsunami. Every time he done had your back, every time he done bought you a gift, every good that man ever did, you wipe it completely out. And your focus is on that act or on that negative. Men, you guys are good at it too. But my heart is going to my women. Because I want us to be more happier women. Like I want us to be more at peace and realize we control that. Not the person you with. Take your power back. Stop letting that man control your moods. Stop letting that man, you're giving that to him. You have the power. You have the authority to have a peaceful, happy life. I'm not saying you're going to be walking around skipping all day, humming, every day. Life happens. Because every time you come up against something or someone you don't want, then it triggers what you really do want. The problem is We don't focus on what we want. We stay focused on what has happened that we didn't want. Change your focus. Change your focus. Your life, everything in it will automatically change. Okay? Day after day, week after week, year after year, you're focused on this one thing. I've seen it. Recently, I've been in rooms on the new app Clubhouse. And I started a room once. It was about divorce is always an option. You know, you hear it all the time. Divorce is not an option. Divorce is not an option. No, it's an option. It's just whether you decide to take the option or not. But it's an option, you know. And whatever you're trying to push up against, that's why you're having more friction. Because you're trying to prove that it's not, when just let it be, right? It is what it is. So, you focused on what you focused on. And then you wonder why you keep it keeps happening. You keep dealing with it. In that Clubhouse, a lady came in, and when she came in, and I was like, I had to go within and just like, I control this right here. And but my heart went out for her, because she was saying how she was in a relationship at the time. Her husband had cheated, and she was she wanted a divorce. She didn't want a divorce, but she was going to get a divorce because he don't see it, and he's just not. And everything she said was him. He don't this, he don't that. He don't this, he don't that. He ain't this, he did that. He did that. He didn't do this, he didn't. And I sat there and I was like, wow. I said, I get it. Like, I remember a time in my life, from my mom, my people in my life, that I did the exact same thing to, and was confused as to why I kept getting that from them, because that's what I was focused on. And I said, this woman doesn't understand that what she's getting is what she's putting out there daily. Every time she say, he ain't this and he ain't that, guess what he ain't? Every time she say, he do this and he do that, guess what he does? It's attraction, attraction, attraction. It's garbage in, garbage out. It's repetitive. It's a cycle. The dysfunctional cycle, it continues because we continue it. You look at people who go down. I mean, I'll even get genetic. What do you call it? From your genetics or your family line. Well, girl, my daddy was an alcoholic. My granddaddy was an alcoholic. And you dwell on that, and guess what ended up happening? But see, people who change those, people who get they make up their minds they're going to be different. The Patti LaBelle's in the world, and the women who you hear that their grandmama died from this or their mamas died from that, they still live. Why? Because they changed their focus. They said, oh no, I'm happy. I'm going to live. I shall live and not die. Like, they focus on life. They focus on what they want, not what they don't want. Girl, I don't want to be like, but you end up being just like. Change your focus and you change your life. Okay? Whatever it is that you're dealing with in your relationship, in your job, in your business, in your, you and your BFF, whatever it is you're dealing with, if you do not like it, if you do not want it, don't focus on it. It's funny. I know my husband, we don't even talk about a lot of this stuff, but I watch it because I'm very observant. I've been observant my entire life, and I notice it. When we say we had a disagreement, because hello, it's normal. You got two people, two individuals. You're not going to agree on everything all the time. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that, right?